Good morning, beautiful people. It's a brand new day on Jaziri, your favorite space for bold conversation, trending stories, and those thought-provoking moments that make you pause and say, wait, what just happened? It's Friday. And you already know Friday is on Jaziri have their special sparkle. This weekend, right around, no, the weekend right, I beg your pardon, the weekend. I go try out, okay? Not this weekend now. The weekend is right around the corner. We are bringing the vibes, the laughter, of course, the hot conversation, and talking about laughter, joining on this morning. Is someone who has been cracking ribs all over social media, a man who say life is already hard. So laughter is a survival skill. Roll, this and more when we come back.
No, everybody should please allow me. I knew that Odogwu, that is our guest today, is going to be a very hilarious hot topic special Friday. So Odogwu, officially welcome to Jaziri.
Please, I beg you people should employ me. I tried now.
You know, a lot of people think that when we stand before them, it's just easy. Even if you do have a script, sometimes it can be very intimidating.
Don't do I was blabbing.
You think it's beans? Sometimes I'll see beans and I'll see your brain might just go on vacation. And it's just like, what happened? And inside you're like, my God, but I have to keep going.
Let me do this. Let me clap for you all.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Wow, all right. Welcome to Jaziri. Let's have fun. This hot topic special Friday. And of course, you know, our guest is Odogwu, a comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Honestly, I can't tell you, he is not just a comedian, he's a comedian's comedian. That means he's a trainer of comedian. He not just only writes jokes, we write jokes from him. He teaches us. He trains you on how to deliver it. And of course, he's an excellent comedian himself. So Odogwu is our custom here. Anytime any people stray in, because I know you are a stray.
Stray bullet.
Odogwu, you know, a lot of times people think because you're comedians and you just make people laugh naturally. They forget to ask you how it really is. So for comedians, would you say that most of the time, is it just packaging or you are just joy-filled like that naturally every day, day in, day out? You have come in, you have said not one word of joke, and yet we have been laughing hysterically.
Well, let me just say good morning to my audience watching us. No verse, so they just say make a present that's in hard. Okay, as a comedian, there's a lot that is involved in this. Some people think that you being a comedian means you'll be happy all the time. We have our own pains. We have some days we share tears. There are some days we just come to make you laugh, but we are not happy. We are not happy on our own, but we have to do the job. We have to make you laugh. Clients cannot pay you millions of naira, and I tell you the client, sorry, I'm not in a good mood.
You will be in a good mood. Money will put you in the mood.
You have to find that mood to put yourself in.
Let me say this. There's one of our colleagues who lost his elder brother on the day he's doing his show.
Oh no! Wow.
Yes, he has to put everything aside and come on stage.
The show must go on.
And joke it.
And so you know that laughter. When you hear that laughter, you know that laughter.
That is how the business is. We are people's. We sell our product to people. Whether we like it or not, you must deliver. You must deliver. You must deliver.
And you know, this thing he said, it reminds me, I think it was the Sosoliso plane, no, the Dana plane crash. The night before, the night it happened, I was getting calls because I had a classmate on and I cried my eyes out, 256. I got up on Saturday morning and I went to radio and I did the show. And I was trying to hold it together. And I broke down. People called and said, it's okay, just give us music for 30 minutes. I stepped back and I cried. And then, you know, they always tell us the show must always go on. And even when I'm training on air people, I tell them at the end of the day, people don't want to know if you and your husband are fighting. No. They don't want to know if you don't like your family member. They don't want to know if you have debts. When they see you on TV, it doesn't matter. Whatever whatever is happening behind you, and it can be a hard place to be.
Yeah. So that's just how it is. We are like a preacher. You know, a man of God. They go on altar. They go on the pulpit to preach. Whether they like it or not, whether their house is burning or their wife is not talking to them, they must preach the gospel. So that's how our job is.
I see. Well, so in addition to that, so you now, let me focus on you with everything that's happening in this Nigeria. As we know it, headlines, president caught in between the romance of Lord knows where I'm going, of President Trump's crosshairs, between that and threatening military action in Nigeria and every other news.
That's happening.
People who used to call them Ogas Odogwus who are saying that it's not.
We will get there.
I'm saying I want to get to him. With all these basbos in the country, how are you, my brother?
My brother, my sister, I'm fine. Oh God, we bless you for asking about my sister.
You need to ask.
Yes. My sister, please, so if you want to ask me, this is the number 0989388588. That's my account number.
Because really at this point, I don't have $50,000 for you.
No, I don't need 50. I just 50,000 naira. Leave dollar, just naira.
Okay. Because as now Odogwu you be.
No, at this point my own is not Odogwu. I have to Odogwu. Nobody's Odogwu again. Everybody's Odogwu.
Take us to serious matter.
It's good that you're okay, because you have to be okay for some of the things we are going to discuss today. And we have some headlines. And speaking of those headlines, let's get into today's hot topics, because that's why you came.
Yes.
First, let's bring back the conversation that we had with Afia yesterday on a young British Ghanaian boy who was tricked to come home to Ghana by his parents under the guise of visiting his grandparents. His parents were worked up about him getting caught up in gang activity. That's what they said. And he had become secretive. They found money that they couldn't explain with him. And his mom also found a knife hidden in his room. So it was just the parents that returned to the UK after the supposed family trip. They left the boy in Ghana. He was now enrolled in a boarding school. He managed to reach the UK embassy in Ghana and got a lawyer and sued his parents. In the judgment this week, the High Court has now ordered that he remains in school in Ghana until he completes his GCSEs. There was a particular part of the conversation that we wanted to continue. So let's hear it.
Talk about let's talk about maybe the legal implications and the implications for migration. This ruling highlights, or I really feel that highlights, the need for better international cooperation. Should that be between consular, social services, and education to manage families that are split up across borders, manage reintegration and safeguarding. I think that's really, really important. You have to have really clear pathways about a child's safety and their education and managing transiting across borders. I think that's really, really important. I mean, I am someone who has educated my child on the continent of Africa for a year. I was there with her. I didn't send her back, and I was there with her, and she had an incredible time. But I remember when we were coming back into the UK education system, it was applying for school all over again. And I thought that was just such, a waste of time, money, resources, administration. So I definitely feel like when it comes to those policies, you need to have better policies in place and lots more, to coin a phrase, joined up thinking. I think when it comes to families and diasporan families and what we feel we can do to keep our children on the straight and narrow, I think a lot of us are probably realizing, like I said earlier on, that perhaps, the UK, the US, wherever, it's not always best. We've had this West is best mentality for so long. It's something that's been ingrained. It's something that's caused such a huge brain drain from Ghana, Nigeria, so many countries. And we've settled here and our families have settled here. And whilst I completely understand why my parents did it, I find myself looking the other way and thinking, well, if I could choose where to bring up my child, would it be in London? I'm not entirely sure. And a lot of diaspora families are feeling that now, that the United Kingdom or the US or wherever they are based is not the best place for their children, because you are losing your connection to culture, you're losing your connection to home, and that has huge ripple effects throughout your life. Sense of belonging, identity. If you don't know where you've come from, how do you know where you're going? Along with, you cannot be what you do not see. You know, the lack of role modeling, the lack of aspirational characters, all these things really play a huge part in how our children see themselves when they're growing up. And I think if you're not connected to who you are deep down inside, the ripple effects that has across your whole life are huge, and they are underestimated. Yeah. They are vastly underestimated. So I think you have diasporan families absolutely looking.
Keep hearing our voice, but
Odogwu they struggle. To hear that British English.
It's too hard.
Here's the thing, Tolu, before you say, this whole thing triggered me. It really triggered me. You're 14 years old. You don't pay bills. I've gone to Europe to give you a better life. You are being seen with nice. You're taking money you cannot account for. You're running with bad gang. You're a gang member. You're distributing bad behavior all over the place. My late father used to say, if you're going to go and mess up outside, leave my name. You're ruining the family name. And then I bring you to Ghana, trick or no trick, I am your parent, you're 14, you're not an adult. Yeah. I bring you to Ghana to better your life. And you have the audacity to sue me, Odogwu Adebayo.
No, that is not trick. That is not trick. That is called African wisdom.
Yes, it is.
That is called African wisdom. Come home.
Yes.
Like I want to use this trick to. There's one of my uncle that we traveled for over 10 years. You know, they send shishi. People go trick her. We say, come, dollar is now $1. Maybe it will come back, but that's not trick. That is African wisdom. How can you have a child like that? That's why I do tell parents, please, before you send your child abroad, let that child get to the age of accountability.
Wow.
In Africa. Let that child get to the age of accountability. Don't just send a child of 10 years, 8 years, 12 years.
What if the child was born there?
Yeah, if the child was born here or there, that is different.
Yeah.
That's different. But from here, please, give them that proper training before you tell them, come and go, so and so place. So that when they get there, they will have, they will know where they are coming from. They will have a rule. They know they have a rule.
So if they born there,
if they born there, now you as a parent, because you came from Africa, you bring them up from, you bring them in, that's your culture. That is how you don't just.
It's hard.
Sometimes it's hard.
It's hard.
Sometimes, but you have to start early. Yoruba used to say something. Lolo will know it. Before the Iroko tree will go, you cut it from the roots. Start from the you start teaching them. Like one of my friends, I don't. Lolo will know that comedian CY. CY told his friend, my house is Nigeria. Out of my house is America. When you're in my house, you have to obey, conform to the rules. Because when you go outside, you can do your duty. So that is how.
So you know, this is a personal story for me because I was taken very young, and I had an uncle. I always remember him, Daddy Lauren. He told my dad one thing. Because I was the youngest, make sure that this girl knows how to speak Yoruba. She knows her culture. Yeah. My parents did not fail in that. I told you guys, I would come home from school and I could stand for 30 minutes telling my father, Mofe Jel. My dad would be looking at me like this until I say the full sentence completely and completely right in Yoruba. You know, I don't move from there. America was outside. He was like,
America would be outside.
I told her, I almost burned down the house. I'm so sorry. I had a pyro phrase. I loved matches. I would strike match. First, I started with burning my sister's bed sheet. I said, I don't know. Then the day they caught me, I'll tell you right now, Reverend Dr. Beats. He pushed the phone to me and said, call 911. That's when you call 911, when CPS comes, you'll never see your mom or your sisters again. I could not say, did I light any matches again after that? Never. No.
But I find out that even when people get to diaspora, you know, there's this maybe the inferiority complex they go with. They are doing everything in their power to make sure that their children have no part. That is why a burden could be the way she was knocking at that time. So that I think that sometimes even the parent need a better orientation to know that where you are coming from is not utterly bad. Yes, you are in a different climate with different things, but our cultures, our values are still things that we consider valuable. Respect, loving a community, parenting, you know, elder care. In Africa, we don't need a regiment or we've never needed like an old people's home to be able to take care of our elderly ones. We see it as part of our responsibilities. So I think sometimes it's the failing of the parents.
Let me say this, sorry. Not also the failing of the parents, including our government. Imagine if you want to study medicine or let me say law in university, they will tell you compulsory stuff, you have to pass English and math. What happened to Yoruba?
Good question.
What happened to Igbo? What happened to Hausa?
Good question.
What happened to those ones?
Yeah.
Yes, now they will tell you we have to pass English and math. We've lost our culture.
Yeah.
No. How many of our children can fluently speak Igbo?
That is a bad thing.
Like I won't lie, I've paid for lessons.
It's only
of course, I was taking Yoruba lessons as of now.
It's only my daughter that
cannot be my child. Me that I went abroad, I can speak Yoruba. I cannot be a child that I'm raising here that cannot speak it.
Check Messi or Ronaldo. When they score, when they want to interview them, what do they speak?
They speak their language. Everybody will translate.
They speak their language. But if you allow our footballer to score, how do you feel? Yeah, I want to thank God. What happened to you? Let me translate our own language too.
It's another thing that I find problematic with Nigerians in particular. Because with our journalists, I watch sometimes, I see reports from other countries. You will see when a Kenyan is speaking,
they're not trying to hide
the inflection of their language is there. They are not trying to hide their accent. No. He's only Yoruba, he's only in Nigeria. They will say, she has a factor.
I want to say,
so you cannot say, the head I'm hitting. They will translate.
You should be able to say so because that is how you speak.
That is exactly. That's one of my friends. I said, somebody who knows how to speak Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa fluently, is that person an illiterate?
Absolutely not. Do you know what parts of the brains you need to engage to speak multiple languages?
But if you don't know how to speak, if you don't know how to speak English, maybe you just miss the sentence. I say, so that guy is. They'll say, hey, no, that guy,
and Americans will still say, stupid.
We was going to the mall.
We was going to the mall. They will not criticize about our own Nigeria. Hey, what's it about?
Exactly.
Hey, you don't speak wrong English. Thank you, my sister. English is a borrowed language. It is not our own. Ayane. So from now on, please present this program with Yoruba.
Sorry.
But we are still Africa first on this.
Yes. I know you said something. I want to take it back because I think this is a lesson also for people who are jackpying.
Yes.
You have to find a way to connect your children to your culture. I had cousins who came home. They went to see their grandmother. The boy Nawasi Yani. If you see the slap that landed at the back of his head.
Oh dear.
But the problem is, were you teaching him that in the US? So that when he came to Nigeria, he would know what to do. We weren't. They were not. And so it's intentional. I don't know. My parents had some kind of brainwave. So they were very intentional. My father was the first president of a Yoruba association in my former hometown. We went to owambe. We did monthly meetings. We had a group of families. I think we were a family of 4. We would rotate.
But you know, Reverend was educated.
But you don't have to be. You don't have to be book smart. You don't have to go to school to know how to keep connected to your culture.
Do you know how many parents would have caved in by 30 minutes? Your child is not telling you, I want to eat. You want to eat, just go and eat, finish.
But a lot of Nigerians that are going abroad now, we need to constantly remind them that they are not. Yes, they are going to maybe a better climate where things work a little better. But there's still so many things that are undesirable about those places that they live in.
Children.
That their children need to continue to be ingrained in their culture. That when a Nigerian child steps out, they should know that this is a Nigerian child. My children, my sister's children, I have never seen them say, oh, they are being they were being disciplined for bad behavior. They might not speak Yoruba, but oh my God, those tata Yoruba, mommy is super,
you know what? We should try not to make fun of them, because what I realize is that when they are trying, when we start making fun of them, it happened to me, it pushes them back in their shells. So correct them, but let them keep however they want to say.
The only one that can speak Yoruba in the house, that can speak it back, every one of them can understand it, but I don't think the boys can speak Yoruba.
Better go and throw them somewhere to learn.
Exactly, it's something very annoying.
Back to that boy, there's something about identity and self-knowledge, about how your cultural heritage builds the blocks and the foundation of who you are.
The child of who you are. How many of our parents told us that?
Exactly. So, and there's something about belonging and connection that then orientates people to becoming and understanding that life is about principles and values, what is right and what is wrong. And like Afia said yesterday, and I'm sure Odogwu would also say this, that maybe those parents are just helping that child.
I believe I told Catherine yesterday.
Of course.
I believe in 5 years he will understand.
What do you think?
You know the reason why? The reason why I think the problem came from when they allowed that boy to jackpot at a tender age.
No, they had him.
Then they bring the boy, they are just helping the guy.
Yes.
So how can they find a knife and money you cannot account
in
for
in a gang?
in UK, and you are trying to join a gang? That's why I said that it was African wisdom. They didn't trick him.
They want to reset his brain.
Yes, let me say, you can only sue your parents in UK. You cannot sue your parents in Africa.
He did not sue in Ghana. In the UK.
Which even the lawyers that will
the judge will do like this.
Allow that.
The judge will do like this.
I really hope that he can see what his parents have done for him.
But another thing is that I'm looking at, which scares me a little bit, because this boy must be very, very smart.
Yes.
For him to be able to get to the UK embassy and sue
get
his
lawyer.
parents.
Yes.
You know the influence of social media. You might see him in Ghana and he's very present in the UK.
Yeah.
You might be shocked that some of these values has totally destabilized him, that he might build another persona here that is even more dangerous than what they think it is. It was in the UK, like, oh, you want to do this? I'm going to punish you. I'll quickly set up the court that I couldn't do there, here.
Yeah, yes.
You know, there are so many angles to this thing. So I think that boy, for me, I think he needs some kind of therapy to be able to explain to him that this wasn't done out of hatred. Because he might actually dislike his parents, and they might never be close all his life, because you feel they did something monumental, bad to him, to maybe destroy his life or derail him. I'll never forget a young boy that was brought to my hostel when I was very young. Yellow Oyibo boy, totally outcast. Oh my God.
Help me.
The boy would stay outside. Help me! Help me! I will run here on the false pretense. My parents are not. Every parent that came out of pity would give him money. He would stay outside. Mosquito had bitten all over his body. But I knew that it was lack of understanding. But they did eventually take him out of the hostel. But I heard they took him to a more advanced hostel or something like. But there are so many new nooks, so many angles that this story can end. So I'm hoping this boy actually gets some kind of psychotherapy so that he would understand what is being done. Because if he's this intelligent to sue them, then he needs to be.
His intelligence needs to be put to
good use. That this is the reason, and once he can merge the two together, that okay. This is what they are trying to do. And if he understands, oh my God, we might never, when we hear this boy's story, it might be
the point in his life
where everything changed.
It would be nice to find out what happens to this kid.
I think what is happening now, I think our parents, African parents, are now bringing their kids back. So
they are
bringing them back.
They are.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Because
I have a friend of mine who stays in UK for over, I think, 15 years.
What's going on?
So he's bringing his kids back. So that they will go to school here, learn the terrain,
my cousins did that.
Things like that. So they are doing it.
So after primary school, they come for secondary through, they decide, then go to
just want to put impact that Ogbon.
No, but there's a type of ogbon. It's not just sweetness. It's not just smartness. That you feel that you get when you are raised here at a certain formative part of your life.
It's so great a foundation. Do you know sometimes we just don't appreciate it enough? The foundation that
we have more stories. Let's take a quick break. When we return,
Sorry, Yoruba.
ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ ká padà wá tá bá dé. Okay.
Continue now.
Right back.
Whose show is it? Let's go on a break.
Welcome back. It's Hot Topic Special right here on Jasiri. Now, when it comes to love, age, and public opinion, no story has had Nigerians talking, quite like Regina Daniels versus Ned Nwoko. It's been the hottest celebrity story on social media this week, and it seems like it's going to spill over into next week. So what's the Hot Topics Friday if we don't get into it? If you don't know what we're talking about, we are talking about the very public conflict between actress Regina Daniels and her now ex-husband.
Put that in quotations. In quotation.
That's why I did this.
See our fingers.
That's why I did this. And her now ex-husband, Senator Ned Nwoko, according to her. So all the drama has unfolded online, including her leaving her home and the arrest of her elder brother and sister. Let's take you through all that has been happening. It started around the 18th of October this year when a video of Regina Daniels went viral. In this video, she was sitting on the floor in her pajamas, all emotional, saying, and I quote, "In Ned Nwoko's house, I am nothing. But in my mother's house like this, I'm a queen." End of quotes.
And the video sparked a wave of reactions. People began to wonder if all was well in her marriage. Soon, her brother, Sammy West, posted videos online accusing Senator Nwoko of assaulting Daniels. Now, barely a day later, on October 19th, Senator Ned Nwoko released a statement denying that he assaulted Daniels. Instead, he accused her of violence, destruction of property, and substance use, suggesting that she needed rehabilitation. And that was when things went from private dispute to full-blown public drama.
The situation took a darker turn. In early November, Daniels alleged that her brother, Sammy West, and her sister had been arrested. Celebrities like Mercy Johnson and others have taken to their social media calling for his release, saying he had been held for days and even flown from Lagos to Abuja without explanation or access to a lawyer. According to the multiple reports, the arrest allegedly happened after an altercation between Nwoko and Daniels' family. Sammy's mother, Rita Daniels, claimed the arrest was politically motivated, accusing Ned Nwoko of using his influence to intimidate her children. She said, and we quote, "You used Regina to boost your falling star, and now you are turning your power against her family." End of quote. Meanwhile, Daniels finally broke her silence. Let's watch the video.
I'm going to fight for my children, Ned. I tried to be calm. I tried to let go, walai, but I'll fight for them. I'll take them. I'll train them. I'll raise them with or without your support. And you know that, my love. Ex-husband. Walai, this feels like I'm acting. But guys, this is me. This is me. If I haven't slept by 5, tell me why everyone else is sleeping. Why is everyone else moving on? Like, why is everyone moving on?
Before I say anything,
No, Kat, I think you should say
wait.
it first.
Let's lay the whole story. Let's lay the whole story out, please.
Cesar, no, that's why I said, yeah.
okay, before we say anything,
Okay.
this morning,
Yeah.
a new video has surfaced where Regina broke down in tears again, saying, quote, "I tried. I feel like I'm losing my mind. I have to go. I will go back," unquote. She indicated she would return to her husband's home despite what's been happening. She also posted another video seemingly responding to public commentary, saying it was okay for people to laugh at her situation. And just when we thought the dust was settling, Regina's kinsman from Odogwu in Delta State have sent an open letter to her husband, Ned Nwoko. In that letter, they claimed Regina's family tried to return her bride price, but Ned refused to accept it. According to the letter, by the custom, what a woman no longer wishes to continue in a marriage, or when she no longer wishes to continue in a marriage, her family must return the bride price to the husband. And if he refuses, the community can deposit it publicly, which by tradition marks the end of the marriage. The community went as far as giving Ned a 48-hour ultimatum to accept the payment or risk having it placed in the Ikeleke quarter of Ugwashoku, symbolically ending the marriage. As of now, Ned Nwoko hasn't publicly responded to the open letter. But let's look at the timeline of their marriage.
So it all started when in 2019, a then 19-year-old Regina Daniels, one of Nollywood's fast-rising stars, shocked fans when she tied the knot with billionaire politician Ned Nwoko, who at the time was in his early 60s. The traditional wedding happened quietly on May 26, 2019 in Delta State. The marriage instantly sparked conversations about age gaps, polygamy, because she was, I think, his fourth or fifth wife, and what it means for young women in love with powerful older men. Still, Daniels kept her head high, saying in interviews that she was happy, loved, and respected in her marriage. Fast forward to 2020 and 2021, the couple welcomed their first son, Munir Nwoko, followed by another baby boy in 2023. And they seemed like the picture-perfect family up until October 2025, when the 24-year-old and her family took to social media to cry for help.
There is this song, the tennis song. He said, will you prefer to be happy or to be crying in Bentley? I have always said this, parents, please, don't hurriedly push your girl child to, sorry, I say girl child, don't hurriedly push your daughters to marry. Let them be matured. Not in age, mentally, spiritually, emotionally.
So what age is that?
That's why I said
She's
not
his sixth
age.
wife, sorry.
Six wives.
wife.
Okay, I want to ask, 2020, how old was Regina when
She
you
was
got married?
19.
But there's been an interview in which she gave a different age, which made it look like she was actually underage.
Guys, wait, hold.
Sure.
Let's just premise this whole thing, right?
Yes.
I really personally do not like to get into people's issues, but this is just these are public figures.
Yes. Yeah.
So for our guests who are watching, we're having this conversation because we're talking about public figures. That's the context here. Regina was an adult. That's what she said. At 19, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of
make her
Nigeria
choices.
allows people to make marriage choices, freely. And she made a choice. So there's the angle of the conversation that Odogwu is talking about. You need to mature, you need to be aged, you need to... For me, if you want to fail forward, please be my guest.
But this is not failing forward.
No. Allow people to make their choices and to fail or win. Because if Regina was winning in this marriage, none of you are going to be having this conversation.
Yes.
You know, I've avoided it all week.
Exactly.
Yes.
We've avoided it. But for the sake of social well-being, we need to discuss this so that people, we are a responsible news channel. And we are talking about bold conversations on Jasiri that our guests and our audiences need to hear. It's our responsibility to break down these topics.
Which is why I agree with Odogwu. Even if the Constitution says you're an adult at 18, psychology says that the prefrontal cortex for most people is not fully formed until 21.
Did you evaluate her prefrontal cortex?
Even at 19, when you're legally adult making decisions, you're not fully informed of all the ramifications.
My sister, let me add to this an addendum. Let me
Addend it.
Statistics has shown that people who get married at the age of 19 to 2021, he said they later get divorced at the age of 30,
Allow statistics
31.
to be. I don't agree with you people in terms of what age she married, what is none of my
He didn't even say age. He didn't say age.
I didn't say age. When I was saying, I didn't say age.
Okay, fair enough.
I didn't say age. I said be mature emotionally.
What is maturity emotionally? What emotional maturity?
It means that you're able to look at the ramifications of your decisions in front of you. And be prepared for the consequences.
Let me wade in. Let me wade in.
Age is not maturity.
Age is not maturity.
It is not.
So
Nigerians are 65 years old. Are you mature?
Nigerians 65 years old. We are
is that even an issue?
Maturity. You have to be mature. Mature. Get to the point where you take a decision. Say, I am ready to go into this journey. I am ready.
Odogwu, Duro. Let us focus on the real issues.
What is the real issue?
The extremes.
What's the extreme?
The extremes. You say you don't want to be in a marriage anymore, which is also your choice.
Okay.
Legally, constitutionally, humanly, it's your choice.
Yes.
And a person decides, I'm going to pick your brother and put him in jail. It's arbitrary arrest. That's what I'm really talking
my
about.
sister, at the age of 19, do you think Regina was in the right sense when you took that decision to get married to Ned Nwoko?
Okay, you're still on the decision.
Yes, I want to come to that side.
Okay, let him land on the decision.
Do you think Regina was in the right decision when you took that? No, that money.
Yes. Let me follow through because if we go back to 2019,
I don't diverse.
calm down.
Do this. We need to go to the next one.
When she married at that time, let us all go back to the drama that unfolded before us. We wouldn't have even talked about anybody's marriage if it wasn't made public.
Yeah.
But all these stories, all these issues are lived before us. I remember all the drama that went into that her marriage time, from the rituals of her incoming into the marriage, for her mother's vocal support. And I could hardly hear her voice in 2019.
Thank you.
I saw her go through the motion.
Thank you.
But I hardly heard a physical vocalization of everything that was happening.
Right.
So I can assume, which might not be the truth, that there must be some kind of cohesion.
It is okay to marry for money.
Yes.
My sister, it's okay. Ask a question. I said, which one do you prefer? To be happy or to be crying in Bentley? My sister, which one do you prefer? To be happy or to be crying in Bentley?
Do you men marry for emotion?
So I was about to say, he wanted a pretty fine thing on his arm. And the family or her possibly wanted financial stability. Ladies and Odogwu, let's move forward on this timeline because there's so much. Let's go now to the arrest of the brother and the sister. Apparently, I think the sister is out because we're not hearing anything.
Yeah.
But they were yesterday in a court in Abuja, in Kefi. It was that he's in court and the magistrate is missing. What are even the charges?
Exactly.
What are
has it
the
been picked up for?
You know, in Nigeria, we see people that step out of their bounds because they're powerful people.
Exactly.
It's not really about whether they know that the rightness or the wrongness of their action. They don't do that because they feel that they
charge them to court.
You know, Nigeria is a country where we can't fight fair. If somebody wants to leave your marriage, there are legal ways of ending a marriage and traditional ways of ending a marriage. Both of you can follow on that. But now using your power to now maybe subjugate or dominate the family, that would be totally wrong. This brother, what are the charges? I need to know. Did he assault him? Did he batter him? What was the charges that they levied against the brother?
Even if you're cooking up charges, let us know what the process so he can go and defend whatever cooked up charges. Right now he's in jail, no charges. Family is barely seeing him. They're just now seeing him after I think 2 or 3 days, and that's when they didn't even know. Exactly, that's when they didn't even know where he was. And so, as the Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Ned Nwoko, if he's involved in his picking up an arrest, has a lot of things to answer for.
Absolutely.
We should not be accepting senators. We should not be accepting rich people who use their influence on people, on average Nigerians. Even if she's a celebrity, it doesn't mean that her family should be going through this.
Absolutely.
Even all this public drama, I just understand
I hate it.
I am very tired of our politicians and our public figures, people that exist in government, that are supposed to have some kind of moral sense to be able to do things properly, not just because they are. I'm not talking because they are adults only. They are occupying positions. They are representing constituent members, people in their locality, in their local government.
You know, I'm not spoken on this issue, and I'm wondering, say, why are we getting our knickers in a twist for this thing? This thing has played out right from the beginning. You have Kat laid her premise, Odogwu laid the premise. It's transactional. You talked about emotional immaturity.
They married after 3 weeks.
You married after 3 weeks. Lolo said in the wedding, she was silent. The family members were the more active of all of them. Now, you have married. What for whatever reason you have married? You have married. You have kids. You've lived with this person over a certain time. You have an idea of the kind of things this person can do. You know that if you're taking this step, you should be able to preempt. If you're playing a chess game, you should be able to begin to think about what he would do, how he would react. If I were Regina and her family, I wouldn't be surprised by what Ned is doing.
And you think she's surprised though?
No.
I think
She may not be surprised, but she didn't plan, is what she's saying.
She didn't plan.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now you're thinking of, you're hearing reports of she wants to go back. Why are you going back?
Wait, we'll get to that. Odogwu, please.
So this is what
we'll get to that before.
This is what I am saying. Regina Daniels was pressured to marry this man.
But she said she wasn't.
My sister, they will know what you want her to say.
It is what she says that me and
What do you want her to say before? What do you want her? It's because of the money.
You're not a fly in the wall, is what
What will you want her to say before? At the age of 19, if you have a daughter who's 19 years, will you allow her to marry?
My mother married at 19.
That was there.
My daughter is 20.
But your money did not marry for money. Did your mom marry for money?
You don't know what my mother married for. You know.
Did your mother marry for money?
All I know is that she was married for 44 years.
I think they were see, this is money. This is an opportunity for us to come out of. No.
Regina's brother is in prison now. The only thing that can work is for them to look for somebody who is more important and higher than their son-in-law, Senator Ned Nwoko. For them to play that card, because now politics in Nigeria is a card-playing game. Yeah, it's who you know. The person you know, senior my Odogwu. Yeah. I mean, you have to listen. It's important because of Marie.
I said you people will not sit together when you put together.
Sorry,
it's important to marry.
Time is not with us, so we need to get to this.
Let's go to the
what
last
is now
question.
the important part is Regina is now saying she will go back.
You know the reason why? Because there's too much pressure on her family.
Report says she said.
There's too much.
No, we saw the video.
Yes.
She's going to go back.
Yes.
We just played the video to
Let's play the video. She said she wants to go back.
There's pressure on her family.
Listen.
Okay.
I feel like I'm going crazy. I'm losing my mind and it's not making any sense. I'm finally crying in front of everybody. But please, what am I even begging for? I don't know. Do you guys think it's easy? Every time I'm waking up, I'm saying one thing. Oh, my brother online. Today I hear good news. Oh, it's about to be free. Tomorrow I hear another thing. Like, what's the problem? But I've tried. I'll go. I'll go back. I'll go back.
And guys, we're seeing the family part play out. Don't forget that she has 2 kids under 10 for a Nigerian politician. So let's not forget the influence and the pressure of I will take your kids from you.
Yes.
In all of this.
Did you remember how
for him to
Senator
take her kids? Let me say the potential for him to take her
Did
kids.
you see what Fadikaya did to that young lady? Precious. Oh my God.
Come on, what are you
Powerful
saying?
people in Nigeria.
And
Don't
you want to
follow
say
the law.
his kids. Listen, women need to understand that those are his children also. If he wants to take your kids and he wants to make a show of it, or he wants to, let him raise his children. He has boys. Let him take his children, let him take his kids, let him raise the kids will still come back and look for you. I think there's too much emotions that we women attach to this thing with children.
Yes.
When you tell a woman, when you leave your home, take your children with you, no. If you know he's a father and he's a hands-on father, let the kid be there. You don't have to, if he wants to hold you on this hand, remove the hand so he doesn't hold you. But when you come out and play the emotions that he knows will get to you, but I don't also blame her, she's a child.
She's a young lady.
It's not a child. It's not a child. I want to ask you a question, please. I want to ask you a question.
Yes, please.
What are you expecting when you willingly on your own want to marry a man who passed the bill?
And you know as he be.
He passed a bill.
Who sponsored a bill?
Yes, he sponsored a bill.
Yeah.
Sorry, he sponsored a bill that a man should be allowed to marry as many wives as they want. What are you expecting?
And you're coming in as his sixth wife.
And his sixth wife.
Six to number six, so and they are still then they marry another one, they join them.
Hey, do you understand?
Then they marry another one, they join them. Oh. So what are you expecting? Oh, you are expecting that only you. That
And then you're saying the ones before you, did they take wife?
This going back bothers
Honestly.
me. It bothers me.
No, but this...
Because, let me say this. When everything still does blow up, because if she goes back, it's still
worse.
So, and then the scrutiny and spotlight on her is going to be much worse.
Yeah.
And then she might disappear from public eye. Then we won't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But this going back worries me. Your kinsmen have already said, let us give him back his buy price. He's not responding to them. Your brother is still in jail for charges and a crime supposedly that we don't know what
about.
it is.
Yeah.
And now the children custody problem is probably part of it. And you're saying you're going to go back. What are you going back to? You've alleged that he abuses you. He's alleged that you use drugs. And you use drugs probably maybe around the children. What marriage are you going back to?
I'm going back
To my roots,
We're not making a mockery of this situation.
I think it frustrates everybody.
It is frustrating because Nigeria is looking at Regina Daniels as their Nollywood sweetheart.
Yes.
Africa is looking at this lady as our young, sweetheart. And I think that a lot of people, men and women, are really rallying behind her to say,
People have said,
do better. You can shine, you can grow, you can outlive this.
But even though we are rooting for her, there are some other underlining things like drug use. They have
accusations,
alleged. And all of us know that when drug addiction is involved, fluctuation of emotions are very... Actions are all compromised. So this might not just be her. She might be under the influence, allegedly. We do not know. So we cannot even say she's in her right senses when she's even making these videos. So there's so many other things that we need to worry about.
I think
her sanity is the first thing that we need to fight for. So that at least we can fight fair. She can fight fair. She can fight justly in her real senses. But if she's under the influence of any substance, it's very hard for us to determine where this is coming from. She will do a video in the night saying, no, I'm gonna go. In the morning, that
also happens when you're not under the influence, to be quite honest.
Yes, it can be depression, but
because different information comes.
If that allegation is there, for me as a Nigerian, I want it investigated and be sure that there is nothing like that. Or if there is, she's at risk even to herself. Because if this goes on for too long, I don't want it to end in a destructive or in a dangerous way.
The way she was, I was worried about how she was sounding. What
if she came out and said, why all of you moving on? Why all of you sleeping? She was fully dressed, made up. You know that this is a big
man, because Odogwu keeps saying she married for money, advantage, whatever. They come on board.
You don't have time, so learn quickly.
Very quickly. Why does a woman say, I don't want this anymore? And a man uses every arsenal to keep her.
Against
Why are you
her will.
keeping her against her will? It is one thing to say there are children and we can co-parent. It's another thing to say you must come back.
Because I think one wife has divorced him before. One wife had left before.
Yes, and
we have to give Odogwu the last word on this.
Let me just say this. So all you young ladies watching me, please, I beg you, take a good lesson from this. Take a good lesson from it. Money is not everything. Your happiness matters most. Money is not everything.
Happiness does not pay bills.
Happiness does not pay bills.
Yes.
So can you bet the pays bills?
Let's combine the two together.
Yes.
All right, thank you. It's time to go. Thank you so much.
We'll continue this behind the scenes.
Yeah, of course, we'll continue behind the scenes. Thank you so much for coming on Jasiri, and thank you guys, all of you who have been with us from Monday to today. Thank you so much. We'll catch our breaths and see you again on Monday and tell you how our weekends went. Have a good one.